Hari Om. Let's start with a prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We just completed the Panchadasi 6th chapter up to 178 sloka, and the rest are available on YouTube. And with that, we completed the Panchadasi text itself because all other chapters have been covered. Now, I was thinking of just a little bit background before I take another text. And the text that for a couple of talks we will do, what is Advaita? Because if you want to know, if you go Google around, ask for what is Advaita, and you get all sorts of responses and directions and YouTube talks and all other things. So with that, I'll provide my perspective of what Advaita is. Coming from a science background, I'll try to look into that as what exactly is Advaita. Now first, we'll go slowly, step by step, and why I need to know, and why I should study Advaita, and all related questions too. Now question is Advaita, meaning itself, Advaita means not Dvaita. A is negation of Dvaita. So Dvaita means duality or plurality. So duality is two. Duality means two, and it is negation of the duality that I experience. So it is Advaita. So it's not a monoism. It's not talking about one, but it's talking about non-two. Means experientially I see two, but understanding is I should think that there is no really two, but what is only one. And that is what is called Advaita. So Advaita, it's a philosophical doctrine, as some people claim, or is it the really truth about the nature of the reality? So that we will explore here. And the Advaita is non-duality from the perspective of who is saying duality. So it's a negation of what you are seeing or what you are experiencing. So everybody experiences the duality, and negation of the reality to duality is Advaita. So what is real you don't experience, and what is experienced is not really real. That's the whole problem is. So what I am experiencing is I am different from you, you are different from him, and this is the whole life is, and everybody feels they are different, and each one claims they are individual and separate from any this. That means the whole rest of the universe, which is starting from the earth and the space and everything else, the galaxies and all that, which can be describable and quantifiable or qualifiable, and all that comes under this, and I am not this. Then who am I is a question that is being posed in the Advaita also. So the question is, Advaita means knowing who I am and what is this world and what's my relationship with the world. So in that sense, I should know, since I am living in the world and I feel I am an individual entity with a date of birth and date of expiry, and one day I will obviously living. So as long as I live, I want to be happy and dealing with the people one side and people with the world outside. And somehow I have acquired some kind of tastes or likes and dislikes in my life, whether I come with them inherently when I am born or acquired during during my growth in this life. So there are likes and dislikes that are there, and I go after what I like and get away from what I dislike. So whole life struggle is trying to gain what I like and get rid of what I don't like. And why I do that? Because if I gain what I like, I feel I am happy, and if I get rid of what I don't like, I am also happy. So what I am searching for is happiness. And I will be happy if I have this, if I have this, if I have this. So whole life pursuit is trying to acquire whatever position, whatever the money, whatever the wealth, all health, wealth, everything else, because that makes me happy. So whatever the fundamental pursuit of life itself is to gain happiness. That is true whether you believe in philosophy or you don't believe in whether you are in a remote in the forest or a tribal person, or you may be a sophisticated citizen of the world or somewhere, and what you are looking for is happiness. Why you are looking for happiness? Because you are not happy as you are. If you are already happy as you are, then you are not looking for happiness. But everybody looks for happiness, and when they get whatever they want, they are still looking for happiness, because whatever they got is not sufficient enough for them to be happy eternally. So this longing for happiness is going on throughout my life. And if you analyze it, it is going on life after life after life, if you believe in the past life and the future life, and according to our Hindu tradition, that we are from the billions of lives in the past, and we don't know how many lives going to be unless we solve this problem. So our life purpose seems to be fundamentally this: what? I want to be happy. And Vedanta says that is the nature of Advaita. Advaita means non-duality, where it is completely full and where it's called Brahman, and Brahman means infiniteness, and infiniteness alone is limitless, and that alone is full happy state. Because everyone wants to become infinite or gain happiness, which means gain infiniteness. How? By getting this, by getting that, and by getting that. So whole life is, if you look at everybody's life, this is autobiography of everyone, is looking for happiness by fulfilling, by getting this of what they like, and getting rid of what they don't like, so that they can be happy. So happiness, pursuit for happiness, is what the fundamental pursuit of life itself. And the analysis shows that as long as you're looking for happiness, you will never reach that state of happiness. So it may look odd, because I am looking for happiness, but I will never get it, because whatever I get is only temporarily happiness. I am still longing for eternal, unlimited, inexhaustible happiness. And how do I get? That's where the scripture comes in to tell that is what you are looking for, and that state is called Advaita. Advaita means non-dual. There is no two there, it's only one, and that one you need to get it. And if you have that, then you are happy. The whole purpose of life is fulfilled, and not only this life, the whole purpose of your journey, or life after life, is fulfilled and mission is accomplished. Then what do? You are happy. So you are eternally ever happy. There is no more pursuit of life anymore, and that is what the Vedanta calls is moksha. You are liberated from seeking happiness, because you are happy as you are. Oh no, that's not moksha. Moksha is going to Vaikuntha or somewhere else, or going up in the heaven. So what do you do up in the heaven? Because then you are going to be happy. That's exactly what it is. If I don't have to go to heaven and I am happy right here and right now, then I don't need a heaven also, because I bring heaven here itself. So the question of why I am looking for and what I am looking for, in essence, you are looking for Advaitic state of understanding or realization, which involves the complete infiniteness of Brahman. So Advaita is same as Brahman. So what I am looking for and why I want to know why Advaita? Because you are looking for Brahman. Why I am looking for Brahman? That is a state of fulfillment, because that is a state of infiniteness, and that's the state you want to do or you want to gain. And unfortunately, you can never gain Brahman. Why? Because Brahman means infinite, and any pursuit in life is finite. So by finite things you cannot get infinite. So infinite is not a result in any finite, which implies that I can never reach a state of complete fullness where I am completely happy, inexhaustibly happy by any pursuit in life. Then you have to stop pursuit. But I cannot, because I want to become happy. So here is a problem, a fundamental human problem, fundamental life problem itself, where I want to be happy and I cannot get that happiness by any pursuit in life. And I cannot stop this pursuit in life. That's the reason why I says, if you understand what is Advaita, then whole life perspective itself changes, and that exactly is why you need Advaita. So what is Advaita? Advaita is a state of complete non-duality, which means there is no two, and therefore it is one alone, and one means that is infinite, and there is no divisions of any kind, and therefore no Dvaita of any kind, and that is what is the absolute truth is. And the scriptures call it Brahman. Brahman means infiniteness. Infinite means it is infinite. There is nothing other than it. Because if there is something other than it, then it is not infinite. So infiniteness means Brahman. Brahman means that fullness, and fullness means happiness, because there is nothing else you need. So, and you can never gain or get that state of realization or understanding or Advaitic state. You cannot get it by any pursuit. Then what do? I am looking for Advaita, but I won't get it. So in scriptures, that's why it says that what you're looking for, you already are. There is no need for you to look. So what does that mean? So I am the Advaitic state already, but I am still looking for, thinking that I am only in a Advaitic state, and I want this, I am different from that, I am different from this, and I don't have it, therefore I am all that is going on. So the Advaita is a doctrine, not only doctrine, it points out the absolute truth, and the absolute truth is that you are longing for, and that you will never get by any process, and that can only be done by recognizing or realizing you are in that state already. So how is this? It's all complicated. It's not complicated, because the problem here is, and the scripture talks about, is you have fundamental problem, and what the problem is, there's an ignorance about your own understanding or your own state, and therefore you are looking for happiness outside. If you analyze this problem clearly, so I want something for me to be happy, okay? So if I go after something for me to be happy, when I get it, what happens? I'm happy. If you look at it, that means looks like happiness came with the object. But if a happiness comes from the object, that object should have the happiness, and it should give happiness to everybody, whoever is longing for it. But unfortunately, it gives only for those who people like it. There are other people who do not like that one, so there is no happiness for them in that. So if happiness is intrinsic quality of any object, then object indiscriminately give happiness, same amount of happiness to everybody all the time. Unfortunately, the same thing will not give me happiness, and more of the same thing will not give me happiness. It's only, in fact, makes me more problematic only. If I give an example, is a cup of coffee in the morning. Says, I want cup of coffee. Why? Then I'll be happy. Okay, you get 1 cup of coffee. Are you happy? Yes. How about one more cup of coffee? No, I have it. No, this cup of happiness, cup of coffee is nothing but happiness. One more cup of happiness. It becomes a pain in the neck afterwards. So happiness is not in the cup. So where did happiness come from when I had a first cup of coffee? It came from my own self. That means the source of happiness is not out there. Source of happiness is my own self, and that exactly what the Advaita says. You are actually Brahman, that is infiniteness. Happiness comes from your own self, and you are seeking happiness everywhere else without knowing that you are the source of happiness for everything else. I am the source of happiness only when I am full and complete. In the moments of when the first cup of coffee came, I am completely fulfilled by that, the desire, and I am back to myself, and therefore the happiness that I am is reflected at that time when the mind is no more longing, no more wanting mind. A mind that is calm, quiet, and no more wanting mind, no more wishing mind, no more desiring mind is the happy mind. And that state of happiness, if I can get without going after anything, because it's my own state, then I am always happy. Then I am liberated, because I am looking for happiness and I am already happy. So there is no need for me to look for happiness. Hence Krishna says in the Gita, says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha. The one who is reveling in himself by himself, because the self that he revels is complete by himself, and that's infinite self, and therefore there is no longing for him, and therefore he has no more desires to get happiness from this, happiness from that, because he is already happy. If you are already full to the rim of your throat, if somebody delicious food comes in, says, no, not now, later maybe, I am so full I cannot eat anything. So that means I cannot go after any objects if I recognize that I am full. And that is a state of a Jivan Mukta, or a realized person, or ones who understood the Advaitic nature of the reality. And he understood, I am Brahman. That means I am infinite, and there is nothing more I need, because I am self-fulfilled. The self that I am is the infinite self, and that I know who I am or what I am, and therefore there is no longing mind, no more wanting mind, no more desiring mind. That is really happiness. So why I want Advaita? So that I can be happy. It's not for a philosophical study. It's not something to become an expert on something. It is to recognize your own nature so that you don't go in the wrong pursuits. All your life pursuit is fulfilled by that. Therefore, Advaita is required for that. If I am already full and done that, then why am I looking for something? That is the question. And for that only, one has to study scriptures. Why? Because even though I am full means I am Brahman, I am complete, yet I feel that I am incomplete for some reason, because I do not know that I am full. So solution to the problem is what? Solution to the problem is recognize you are full. So how do I recognize it? Because the problem right now is your ignorance of yourself, number one. And because of the ignorance of yourself, you are taking yourself what you are not as yourself. Therefore you say, I am, and then what? Who are you? I am this. So everyone, whether you are a philosopher or not, he will say, I am this. What is this? This keeps changing depending upon the individual. So that this can be at the body level. So I am 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall. I am from India, or I am from US, or I am from this, whatever, where you are born, or whatever the features are. I am fat, I am thin, I am lean, I am white, I am black. All those, the external features of I am this and this and this and this. And the whole biodata, if you introduce yourself, you provide a big biodata, which is nothing but I am this. So everyone, irrespective of where you are, whether you learn Vedanta or not, Advaita or not, you say I am equal to this. And that is essentially ego also. But the very question or answer, who are you? We are saying I am this, either at the physical level or at the emotional level. I am husband of this, I am son of this, I am daughter of this, with emotional relationships or intellectual accomplishments. I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a scientist, I am this, I am that. All those things are either accomplishments of the intellectual level. I am identifying with the body or with the mind or with the intellect as I am this. So what's wrong with that? The very statement I am this itself is fundamentally incorrect, because this is an object and I am a subject. A subject cannot be equal to object. So any this is I am pointing out something different from me. At the same time I am this. So how can I be this? Because this is separate. So I do not know who I am, and therefore I am taking myself what I am not as I am and causing a problem for myself and for everybody else. And that's the whole life. And not only this life, we have been doing this life after life after life. So why I need with the Advaita? It makes you to think and find out who you are, because the very fact that I am this you are saying, irrespective of philosophy or not, there is a fundamental problem there. Once you recognize it's a problem there, then only solution can be, you start looking for a solution. Because I cannot be this, at the same time I am using this. So if I cannot be this, then who am I? So how am I going to find out who am I? Should I ask somebody else who am I? He also has the same problem that you have. Everyone in this whole world is having the same problem, and it's about autobiography of everybody, and everybody is searching for themselves in a way without knowing themselves, and want this and this and this and this, and one day you kick the bucket and again next life starts, and so on and so forth. So whether you have many lives or one life, or the pursuit for happiness is fundamental, and the very pursuit for happiness is incorrect, because you are already happy. If you are already happy, why I am looking for? Because you do not know your own self. And therefore the study of Advaita means non-dual. There is only one, and that you are, or that is Brahman, or that is happiness, that is whatever name you give, that is only one. That's what is the Advaita means. Even though you are experientially seeing the duality or plurality, understanding is it's only one. That is the nature of the Advaitic understanding also. So Advaita is not only a philosophical position, but also it is pointing out to the absolute truth, which is Advaita. Means it is absolutely homogeneous one, and for that we need only scriptures, because I cannot see any this is not me. So I can say neti, neti, neti. That means I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, and then what else? How am I going to discover I am what again? When I am looking for I am what, again I am looking for some this again, which I am not. So I cannot describe I am as any objectifiable entity. I am not. So I am the very subject, and without any objectification. And how do you describe? It is indescribable other than only by the process of negation of what I am not. I have to discover myself what I am. That is the pursuit of Advaita also. And one that I am pursuing, who am I, is the same thing as the complete fulfillment, because if I am something, Satchidananda, I am some local something, and still I want something else to be happy, then the pursuit is again, what good is this knowing yourself and still you are unhappy? So if looking for myself fulfills the criteria of going to be happiness, then the very pursuit of inquiry of who am I and what is this will help me. By negation of any this, I am as I am without any qualifications, because qualifications belong to a finite objects. So why Advaita and what is Advaita is we will try to analyze, because Advaita is a truth that is being pointed out. It is an absolute truth. Absolute truth, what it is beyond any relatives. Therefore, any relative comes in the Dvaita, because one related to the other. When there are two things, one relates to other. If there is only one, there is nothing related to what? There is nothing else to relate to. So that is Advaita. There is no relationships of any kind, and it is being infinite, so it is unbounded. Therefore, it is complete fullness, and that is the state of fulfillment I want. Therefore, no more desires for me. So the self that I am has to be recognized, that the self is that infinite, which is Brahman. So Advaita points out that the Brahman is you are, and the Brahman is absolute truth, and that's what is Advaita. So things that are now, what is Advaita? Advaita is absolute truth, and the absolute truth is infinite, and the infinite truth is that I am, because I am not any this, because any this is finite, and I am, since I want looking for happiness not from any this, that completely full that I am, because happiness is coming from my own self. That means the self that I am is fulfilled as it is. That means it is infinite as it is. So even logically, it points out that when I am contented, it points out that I am infiniteness only. And to confirm that by inquiry process, I had to use the mind in order to investigate who I am, to discover my own self. Discover my own self means discover the truth about myself. I know what I am, but what I think I am is right now is wrong one, because I am taking myself, I am this with the body or with the mind, any intellect, any this cannot be me. So I am something different from any this. At the same time, if it is infinite, it includes this also, because if it separates this, then I cannot be infinite. I am plus another thing else there. So Aham Brahmasmi is the teaching of Advaita Vedanta, and it comes from the scriptures, and that's what is the scriptural is trying to point out your true nature, which is Advaita, which is same as Brahman, and that is the totality itself. Then what happens to this world? So world is, Dvaita is still there, but we are looking for that which is the absolute truth, which is the infiniteness. If the Brahman is infinite, then where is this world? It cannot be separate from Brahman. If it is separate from Brahman, then Brahman cannot be Brahman. Brahman means infinite, and you have something separate from infinite, and therefore infinite is no more infinite. So Brahman should include the world, and include this body, mind, intellect, including everything in the world. So if everything constitutes the Brahman, so Brahman has a parts. That's the problem. Brahman being infinite cannot have any parts. Now we have come to a dichotomy, a situation where Brahman is homogeneous, existing, obviously, and we say it's an infinite being, happiness, and also scripture points out it is of the nature of consciousness. So it says Satchit Anandam is Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Anantameva Anandam. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam is its nature itself. Satyam means it is absolute truth. It cannot be negated. And because it is infinite, and it is of the nature of consciousness, and it is the nature of infinite, therefore it is of the nature of bliss also, because there are no limitations of any kind. Being infinite, there cannot be anything inside also. So how is this world inside the Brahman? The world has to be inside the Brahman. At the same time, world does not have real existence. So Advaita now comes down to, says there is a absolutely real and there is a transactionally real. So therefore it is Advaita experientially. The truth is Advaita. That means we are negating the plurality, or we are negating the reality to the plurality, and that is being pointed out by this study of that pointing as Advaita. That is the philosophy, and that is the truth, and that is the Brahman, and that's same as you. So the understanding of Advaita is Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. That is the fundamental discovery via Advaitic Vichara, inquiry. We'll come back to this. What is Advaita in more details in the next talk. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.